You're broadcasting now.
Okay. All right. Well, hello, everybody. We are having some technical difficulties, but if this wasn't that happening in this Zoom pandemic area space we're in, it wouldn't be all right. But it's gonna be all right. So, welcome to the Pensacola Network. I'm excited that you are here. This is our November Give Back Month, and we're excited the whole year that everyone has been healthy and safe. Those who have made their transition during the pandemic, we continue to pray for you. We continue to pray for your families and your community of friends. We know that this has been a difficult time, and yet there's a lot to be grateful for. And tonight will prove that as we celebrate with all of our special guests. So I'm so excited to be here. Lloyd is off screen right now. I'm gonna see if I can do what he normally does. So Lloyd is off screen right now, getting our guests coming on. And so we are going to. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to thank our sponsors. So one thing, thank you to everyone who has been with us since 2013, all of our amazing sponsors and partners who make this happen. Um, we appreciate all of our founding sponsors, all of our media partners, all of our business partners who make this thing happen. We are so grateful that you are here and that you celebrate with us. And we're happy that we're coming up on the Thanksgiving holiday. We hope that you can get back together with your friends and family during this time, and that you will have a great time. Remember, if you smile, there are no calories in the food. None. We take them all out. So smile while you're eating at Thanksgiving, and all the calories will be gone. So we are excited. So today I'm going to hop right into our special guest, because we have a show today chock full of excitement. And November is what I call our give back month. We go with the Pensacola Network from January to November. And November, we know that a lot of people are looking for opportunities to figure out how they can help out. This is a beautiful giving season. And so we call our November Pensacola Network our Give Back Month. And our topic this month is being social and doing good. And since we are all social beings, this idea of associating to do good is no law science on our special guest today. All of our special guests today, and our very special guests, they are members of sororities and fraternities. They have banded and bonded together to have fun, to bring awareness, to raise money, and to make a difference in the lives of thousands of our fellow citizens. And the millions of dollars that they've raised really pale in comparison to the millions of lives that they have affected. So I am really excited to have local representatives of national chapters of the Divine Nine plus one. So I'm really excited. And our special guests, I'm going to name them, and then after we have our really special guests, I'm going to bring them up. So we have Jeff Thomas with Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. We have Kennell Williams with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. We I just forgot Kelsey Powell with Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity. My husband's going to forget me for forgetting Kelsey's last name. Reverend Kim Yarber with Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. Latanya Baldwin with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. Sean Parker with Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, Dr. LaSharon Wiley with Zeta Phi Beta Sorority, and Jessica Johnson with Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority. We were trying to get on the Iota Phi Theta representative, but I missed up some stuff, so we'll get him back on. There is one in Northwest Florida, one. So we'll get him back on. But setting the stage for our conversation is our very, very special guest and dear friend, Louis Anderson. Lou is an entrepreneur, a retired military officer, and a member of the Sigma Pi Phi, or the Boule. And the Boule is, and I better get this right, Lou, the historically oldest, or known as the historically oldest, continuously existing Greek letter organization, postgraduate fraternity in the United States. And it counts among its members college presidents, U.S. congressmen. We're going to talk about the women, U.S. congressmen, very distinguished men who are really making the difference around America. So please welcome Lou Anderson. That's
Good
the
evening.
crowd
Good
chat
evening.
for you, Lou.
I can hear the applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. First thing I'd like to do is thank Lloyd and Robin for the many things they do for the betterment of our community. And what a blessing it is to still be in concert with my homeboy, Lloyd Richard, from first grade through 12th grade and beyond. We're fraternity brothers in Kappa, and it's just great to be here and to be in communion with Lloyd and his lovely wife, Robin. You guys do so much in the community that a lot of people don't even realize. So thanks so much for all that you do. You truly have a mind and a heart to serve. And I especially like the networking events that you conduct to connect people and strengthen relationships in our community. My father is a Baptist preacher and pastor in Tallahassee. I'm not a pastor, but I'll borrow a phrase from what they often say, and that is, I won't hold you long. So they said I've got about 10 minutes, and I can certainly go longer than that, but we'll try to stay with that and hold it to 10 minutes. The short talk that I
Lou,
have is really not about me. Sure.
Lou, can I interrupt you real quick? I'm gonna click my camera off so you can be full screen, and I'm gonna listen and come right back. So y'all please enjoy Lou Anderson, and I will be back.
Okay, that's
Go
fine.
right
That's
ahead.
fine. Okay. The short talk that I'm going to give tonight is not about me, but I'm going to mention a few things from my past because it helps me to illustrate some points that I'd like to address. When I was in college at Dillon University, my roommate, who was also on the basketball team, asked me to pledge Kappa with him. And I told him I wasn't willing to subject myself to the rigors of pledging. This was old school stuff in the mid 70s where hazing was very much, accepted and wide. I told him I wouldn't do this just to wear letters on my chest. I considered the two of us and the rest of the basketball team as the elite athletes on campus. And in my opinion, we couldn't be more popular. But he paused and said, well, consider, life beyond Dillard. Consider, how you get things done, how you choose and weave in and out of careers and that type of thing, after you graduate. And consider the networking possibilities of not only, hanging and bumping with the nukes, but also you have a direct rapport and relationship with the other Black Greeks. And my roommate was spot on. I later learned, how true his words were. By the way, my roommate was head and shoulders above most of our peers. He was cutting edge, really great grades and all that. So now I'm happy and proud to have membership and not only one, but two great Black Greek letter organizations, Kappa and the Boule. Success is rarely a straight line from start to finish. I read something somewhere that said 50% of the people within 5 years are working in a field that has nothing to do with what they studied in college and wrote those big checks for. And my story certainly is a jagged line at best. People can sometimes see where you end up, but they often don't know how you got there. Reflecting on a rocky road toward the path of some level of achievement and success allows you to perhaps take the advantage to look at people, who have not achieved, who are trying to achieve, and you can make a difference along the way. And I tell you, it really makes a big difference. And that's what we're talking about today. So reflecting back on the cold and rainy days and times, it just helps you to have empathy for those that come after us, the next generation of Black folks. So then as I look back, it was me and God during the tough times. It was God and me when I thought, today might be the day that I die. I'm reflecting on tough days in the Navy, on Navy ships on the other side of the world. We're deployed, fire, flooding, and dangerous conditions that we work under around the clock. It was me and God when my business had seen better days. So I think I have a responsibility, and we have a duty and obligation to kids for those that come after us. My tough times are too numerous to address tonight in this 10-minute slot that I have. So let's focus on something that's much broader, and that is the Black Greek letter organizations. So what's the deal with Greeks, and what's the deal with Black Greeks and Greek letter organizations and all that? In the 1900s, there were fraternities and sororities, on the different campuses. And the whole focus on Greeks went back to the old ancient Greek culture, where the Greek culture was a springboard for Western civilization because of its influence in the arts and philosophy and science and language, literature and political systems and theater, mathematics and educational systems. Alexander the Great defeated the Greeks, but he left the culture intact. And this allowed the Greek culture to kind of just spread throughout, the known world at the time. So this is where that whole focus is on Greek. This is where, from an achievement and success standpoint, and trying to maximize on available opportunities through Greek letter organizations, this is how this all came about. But then in the 20th century, seeing that the white fraternities and sororities, wrote their charters so that it would exclude blacks from membership, Black people, African Americans decided to start their own Greek letter organizations. So then the Boule in 1904 and Alpha Phi Alpha in 1906, AKAs followed 1908, and so on and so on. So then the whole objective was to recruit college students and provide a network that would include both undergrad and alumni members. Greek letter organizations, are a real cornerstone. Robin said earlier that, when you look at the politicians and the congressmen and people who are in real power positions, people who can make a phone call and make something wonderful and great happen. As a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi, for example, for well over 40 years, I can look at the benefits that I've gotten because people know that I'm in a fraternity, and you reach out to a fraternity brother. But then, yes, we also have a responsibility to, look back and grab the ones behind us and pay it forward. So then the whole thing with service and activism, these are central principles of Black Greek letter organizations, ideals of, focusing on racial uplift in prominent, times where people need help, and consider the things that we're going through now, not just with the pandemic, but other things that are impacting us as a society and specifically as Black people. So often you hear that we're taking 2 steps forward, but then we get 1 step back. So the net is we're still moving forward through the help of God. But see, also churches are ideal for helping Black people in the Black community, because you have that, weekly meeting and sometimes other meetings where it's prayer meeting or, that type of thing. You have like-minded Christians that come together and commune together and talk about different things that are good for the community. So let's not leave out churches in terms of service and a possible benefit to society. Now, if we talk about goal setting and goal achievement, to help ourselves, they say if you're on a plane, put your mask on first and then reach around and try and help somebody, after you've got your mask on first. So then in the Navy, it talked about goal achievement, from a personal level, as well as a broader measure of trying to get things done in a timely manner, succinctly and correctly. In the Navy, they taught us a POANM, and that is a plan of action and milestones. So then in terms of goal setting and achievement, setting realistic goals with benchmarks along the way, it can help you to keep track and stay on track as you move towards successfully achieving your goal. Take, for example, a goal that you estimate might take 1 year. So then maybe after 3 months, you have a benchmark or a milestone that you want to reach to make sure that you're on track to achieve that goal in that 1 year. Doesn't have to be 1 year, it might be 3 years, it might be 5 years, it might be 10 years. But setting a POANM or a plan of action and milestones. What is the goal? Clearly defining what that is, and then having benchmarks and milestones along the way to achieve those goals. Write it down, commit it, label your plan. Now work your plan. Feel free to cross out, mark through, erase, add, or modify as necessary as a living document. So now let's digress for a second. Our responsibility as African Americans that some have gone to college, most have gone to college. Certainly the Greek-led organization people have gone to college. Most finished, but not all. But still, we seek to achieve something on a higher level. So then, as achievers or people of success, we should ask ourselves: do we have a responsibility to give back? Should we pay it forward? If the answer is yes, so then how do we get these things? And so then I think we need to focus on a paradigm shift. We don't want to be, in that set where we're crabs in a barrel, or we have crabs in a barrel mentality. We should focus on sincere altruism, mentally, and move from, well, I've got mine, now you get yours. Move from that to, I've got mine, this is how I did it. So now let's see what we can do to help you get yours. So that's where we want to go. That's where we want to move. And that's the direction that we want to be moving, not only from our personal standpoint, but for the community as well. So then get your achievement and success in line with a solid foundation, and then show somebody else your blueprint for success. So then, where do we get the strength from? We can get notable quotes from different people that are inspirational to us. For example, Susan Taylor, a journalist for Essence for a number of years, she says the following: whatever we believe about ourselves and our ability, that belief becomes our reality for us. Oprah Winfrey said the following: I was raised to believe that excellence is the best deterrent to racism and sexism. Mae Jemison was the first African-American woman astronaut. She says the following: greatness can be captured in one word: lifestyle. Life is God's gift to you. Style is what you make of it. Booker T. Washington. There are two ways of exerting one's strength. One is pushing down. The other is pulling up. So we certainly want to be in that latter category where we're helping to pull people up along with us. Maya Angelou said, the need for change bulldoze a road down the center of my mind. And Henry Ford, and I'm almost done with these. I hate to just read this, but these are really good quotes. Just a couple more. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. And we'll end with Barack Obama in terms of the notable quotes. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. So we're always working on change. Are we changed now? Are we different now? We're in a different circumstance from slavery, from Reconstruction, from the 60s, from, even 5 years ago. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So what can we do? We can band together and communicate together and have a common objective of helping ourselves and then helping others. So then with the NAACP, in which I'm a member in Pensacola, home ownership is an important key to closing the wealth gap between Black and white folks. So much of what we focus on is money, is income. But then what about focusing on an asset or something that we can pass on to later generations? So then let's borrow that blueprint from communities that have enjoyed a higher level of success than us as a people. Use that blueprint to float our boats higher and higher. So then we're not hating on the larger society. We're just loving on ourselves. The Bible says, love thy neighbor as thyself, and that's often difficult. So let's borrow the blueprint from communities that have enjoyed this success and see how they did it, and then mirror what they're doing. Let's band together and pull together as Greeks. Let's band together and pull together as people of achievement and success, and try and bring somebody with us along the way. Thank you.
Amazing. I'm sitting here taking notes. This is this is amazing. Thank you, Lou. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
I'm just
Thank
going to
you.
book you for next November when we come back together in person. I need you back on stage, Lou, because I got questions. Keep put your microphone back on for me.
Back now.
There we go. All right. So I'm on you. You can put the third Friday in November when we're back in person. I need you back next year.
You got it.
Next year. So we're you're coming back on the calendar. I want to bring a couple of points that you said. So first, you were talking about when you were in college and your sort of decision or contemplating joining the Kappas, and you said that there was, or this other gentleman said that there is life beyond college. So this idea that there is something beyond what you were doing for now. And since we're talking about being social and doing good, did you see something beyond that now when you were in college? Could you see that there was, this sort of association would help you later on?
To explain further what he was saying and describing, he said, well, look at what the white boys do, you know, and not white boys as a slur, but look at what white society does. They network among themselves, the Skull and Bones, the organizations, when you pick up the phone and the way he said that, it just made perfect sense. It's not that we're living in a small shell, the broader society then, does this networking and it made sense. So I decided to go ahead and do it. And the fraternity and the fraternities have been a conduit for giving. I've benefited mightily through the fraternity and from the fraternity. So I saw the vision that he had, and he was certainly more progressive minded and forward looking than I was at the time. When I graduated from high school, I thought, wow, this is an opportunity to continue to play basketball and travel. I was short-sighted,
Mhm.
and I was the first one in my family to graduate from college. So I didn't have that model that was poured into me by some others that are more fortunate to have college graduates to talk about projecting yourself, to talk about careers after college, even going to college and the importance of that, and applying yourself because, you know, that experience then is foundational and it builds you for the rest of your life. You study so many things and you focus so many things. If a person has a college degree, then it gives you a platform or foundation so that you can springboard in so many different directions. So I just saw his vision, and I knew that he was more progressive and forward-minded and thinking than I was. So I saw the vision and I latched onto it, and I'm so glad that I did.
I like that. I think that oftentimes, we look for these sort of these people who are, and you named a lot of them, you were quoting a lot of them to be really inspirational. And I think that the one thing that I do admire about the sororities and fraternities, but my father was a Mason, and so that's a well lived and well long fraternity, as is the Eastern Stars as a sorority. But what I like about them is that, and what I saw growing up is that idea that you could pick up the phone and call somebody. So it didn't matter if you were, I remember when I was started traveling a lot, he would say, here, call this person. You don't have to visit them when you're in town, but call them and let them know you're in town, is that benefit of association, I think is really powerful. And I think it's what the sororities and fraternities do really well. The other thing you said that really struck out was you said sincere altruism. And then pulling them up. So you're not doing it just to sororities and fraternities. Don't do it just to do good. They really are passionate about it. And as when we invite the sororities and fraternities on to talk about it, I think we'll see that. But talk a bit, kind of stretch it out for me, that idea of sincere altruism.
Two examples on that. Um, the deacons and the people in church and the parishioners, they recognized me as the pastor's son, and they gave us gifts when they gave my dad gifts and the rest of the family, my mom and everybody else. But So often from basketball practice, I would be walking home and they would recognize me as Reverend Anderson's son and then pick me up and give me a ride because one, they knew I was trustworthy. Two, they knew I was from a good family, from my mother, father. And people just poured into me because they saw potential. And just that commonality of deep in the South where, you see somebody else that's African American, you have, an acknowledgement that we're experiencing the same thing at the same time. And it's a bonding element. The second example of that is maybe 3 years ago, I was in Sam's Club and I saw two skinny guys, looked like they were in college, and they had on Sigma shirts. So it looked like they had just gone through a rigorous, pledge or intake period. So then I stopped them and identified myself as, a brother in a different fraternity, but still Panhellenic. And we all band together. We all look out for each other. We all network together, and we all call each other brothers. It's not a line of demarcation in between Kappa and Omega, or Omega and Sigma, or the others, A Phi A. We're all in this thing together. We all have a common and shared experience. So yeah,
Mm.
I reached in my pocket and I gave, one, a bill, and I gave the other one a bill. And I said, see, this demonstrates brotherhood. I've never seen you guys and I'll probably never see you again. But we're all in this thing together. We have a common bond of brotherhood through the Panhellenic Council and as African American men in America experiencing what we experience almost on a daily basis. So it's that sincere altruism, it's that sincere outreach, recognizing that people who are obviously in this case in Sam's, in college, probably broke like I was most of the time. And you just reach out, you're
You
reaching
didn't have to
back,
be in a sorority fraternity to be broke in college.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
I'll end with this question. I said at the outset that you were among a lot of things an entrepreneur, and you had a very successful over a decade of friend. You were franchisee of at least 3 or 4 McDonald's in the Tennessee area. And so, how did being a part of the fraternity help you succeed in business? And we'll end with that.
It was more of the fraternity gave me a chance to give. The fraternity members who saw me wearing my letters in the restaurant or knew me through fraternity meetings would reach out to me. The school principals who knew me because I'm in the fraternity would reach out to me to come and talk to the boys, in school, or the kids in school, or the kids at church, or, the Boys and Girls Club. So, of course, the Greeks that knew that I was a Black Greek as well, then, word spread and they would come in and show, hey, they're helping to support the business and the endeavors that I was in. So uh, if I had to net the benefits that I got versus, the opportunity to give and try and make a difference in the community, I would say that, both were significant. Both were significant.
Well, listen, thank you so much. I am so grateful that you shared your story. I did not know that your father was a preacher, that you're a PK. We got that in common.
Yep. Yep.
um, and so I'm so excited that you share. We are grateful that, and I know I'm going to bring Latanya up. Latanya, if you want to come on up, I know that you talked to that you met Latanya backstage, and as a member of Delta Sigma Theta. Your wife, Dr. Saunders Anderson, is also a member of Delta Sigma Theta. So and she is I'm gonna I mean this in the best way, a do-gooder in her own right, which is a beautiful.
Yes, and just one more thing before you move on. The people in the community, they all know, the pastor and the family, but I have to say that I came up in a two-parent household, and my mother, uh, actually, I model a lot of my personality after her. And I think it was a great benefit that I got from my mother as well.
Nice, nice. Sisters rule, sisters rule. Well, thank you so much. We are excited. Please, everyone, give Lewis Anderson a hand. He will. Lou, stick with us. Just you can mute yourself and turn your camera off. I'm going to ask Latanya Baldwin with the Delta Sigma Theta chapter. We're going to reverse this because of technology here. We had an order, but I have to reverse this because of technology. So we're going to be all right. Can you hear me, Latanya?
Yes, I can.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Latanya Baldwin is a member of the Pensacola chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. I'm proud to say they are right in historic Belmont DeVillage neighborhood and an integral part of the neighborhood and the neighborhood association. So very glad to have y'all here. So Latanya, share with us a bit of the history of Delta Sigma Theta, and then what y'all do in the community and anything else you want the community to know.
Okay, thank you for having me on. Um, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is a nonprofit organization whose purpose is to provide assistance and support through established programs and local communities throughout the world. We were founded in January 13, 1913 by 22 collegiate women at Howard University. Our sorority is currently a sisterhood of more than 200,000 predominantly Black college educated women. And this includes, we have over 1,000 collegiate and alumni chapters located in the United States, Canada, England, Japan, Germany, the Virgin Islands, Bermuda, Bahamas, and the Republic of Korea. The major programs of sorority are the basic of our organization's 5-point pragmatic thrust. Okay, these programs, the purpose of our program is to assist with eradicating educational, social, and economic inequalities throughout the sorority's um, thrust. They include economic development, and I'll give you a little things for the 5 thrusts, the 5 points, what we do in each one. The first one is economic development. Like we have a partnership with Habitat for Humanity. So we partner with and help with Habitat for Humanity. We have educational development, and we have 2 groups of girls. We have the Delta Gems, which are our high school girls, and GEM stands for Growing and Empowering Myself Successfully. And we have them there with high school issues. We have them with college. We have college workshops for them. We also, some of our gyms choose to be debutantes, so we have a cotillion for them as well. We give out scholarships. And then we have the gym, the Betty Chapaz, the Delta Academy, which are our middle school girls, and these are 6th through 8th grade girls. And you do not have to be a relative of Delta in order for your child to be part of the Delta Academy or the Delta Gyms. And we do school donations, and we do May Week. And we have our international awareness and involvement, where we support we support our grand chapter with different things like the Mission Hospital, the in our elementary schools, and then our Delta House. We have one in Switzerland. There's one in Switzerland. And we have physical and mental awareness. We just participated in the breast cancer walk, where we raised almost $3,000 for the breast cancer for this year. We have a Relay for Life, and we have a community health fair. And also this past Saturday at PDAC, which a lot of them call us, but at PDAC right there in the DeVilla Center, we actually partner with Walgreens and CVS, and they gave out free flu shots to anyone who wanted them. We have our political awareness involvement, which we are very active on the voter registration, and then also helping, if you've been a felon, helping try to get your rights restored so that you can vote in future elections. We have our Make a Difference Day, our Delta Days at the state capitol, Delta Days at the national capitol, and the United Nations. And then some of our other events that we give, we have a debutante ball. I mentioned that with the Delta Gems. We have our Red Hat, and we have a We Care for our senior citizens. We do a We Care event for our senior citizens. The Pensacola Alumni chapter is comprised of a group of extraordinary, hard-working women who are shaping the community, shaping the sorority, and shaping the world around us. We take pride in working together, and we level up on issues for both children, adults, and elderly. And also for overseas, we work a lot with other countries as well because we do have chapters in other countries. Um, our accomplishment includes our political awareness. We sponsored a test awareness workshop. We do etiquette and grooming workshops. We also have a group with our boys. It's called Embodied, and we work with our young men as well.
Oh, nice.
We provide volunteer services. We've sponsored over 47 debutante cotillions to date. We have career and job opportunities. We contribute with the NAACP. We did a clothing drive for Haiti, and we did that. Pensacola is part of the region we call it the Southern Regional. Our sorority is broken down into different regions, and Pensacola Alumni is part of the Southern region. We service people in Pensacola and Escambia in Santa Rosa County. We love our members. We hold monthly meetings every month, and we discuss not only the chapter business but how we can help and impact the community as well. We have several sorors that are teachers that work in the school system, and we partner with the school system. We have a few that are principals in the school system, and we've just started a new partnership with CAYs to go out and read to the kids. Well, they're going to do it by Zoom, I think, but they're going to read to the children. But we also help with different schools, like providing supplies and different things that's of need to the school or to the individual student. Our membership, we understand that every member is the integral part of the foundation of the sisterhood, and we do not take our membership for granted. We believe that members are the most important component of our sisterhood, and their level of involvement directly impacts the success of our initiative. Membership in Delta Sigma Theta is rewarding. For membership, we have two levels: the collegiate level. In order to become a member on the collegiate level, one must matriculate at an accredited college or university pursuing work to an initial bachelor degree. So if you already have one degree and you're going back for another one, you cannot apply at the collegiate level for membership. And if you've already received a bachelor's or even or anything higher. So at the collegiate level, you could. However, we have the alumni level. Now, the alumni chapters are for those who have already matriculated, those who already have received at least a bachelor's degree. And the way you can get that to become a member, you'll need to be in good academic standing. You have to attend an informational meeting. You have to fill out an application. You have to be interviewed, and then the chapter will collect all your information. We'll do a vote and decide if you would be a perfect fit for our sorority or not. And it has to be majority vote. It can't be. It's not a one or two things. It's a chapter vote. And with joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our heart.
I guess I can't slip you $1 and say I'm a Delta, huh? I can't do that, huh?
Nah.
Y'all got really. I mean, you packed, as Reverend Powell says, I've been quoting him a lot lately. You packed 25-pound bag of sugar to 5-pound bag there. You packed a lot in there. You had me at Dr. Betty Shabazz, one of my favorite heroes. Sheroes did not know that she was a Delta. She is the
Yes.
widow and an esteemed educator. She was an esteemed educator in her own right of Malcolm X. So I'm so excited that my ears perked when you mentioned her. LaTanya, thank you so much. We have posted in the link how you can connect with Delta Sigma Theta, as we did all of the sororities and fraternities. But thank you so much. You can take your screen and your microphone off, but stay around because people may have questions. So you can take yourself off the screen there. And I'm going to invite up Dr. LaSharon Wiley with Zeta Phi Beta sorority. And I'm announcing it to the world, my cousin. I can see you almost up there, Doc. I can see you. I see you a little bit. I need to see your face.
I'm coming. All right, here we are. So thank you for the opportunity to be here, cuz. So there's so
thank you.
Thank you, and there's so much that we could say, but I want to try and do it all very quickly. I want to pack 25 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound bag. So Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated was founded in 1920 at Howard University. And since its inception, we're focused on addressing social issues. So like so many of the other Greek letter organizations, we are a community conscious, action-oriented organization. And we help transform communities through our volunteer service from our members as well as our auxiliaries. Zeta was the first historically Black sorority to charter a chapter in Africa, and that's in Monrovia, Liberia. Today, there are also chapters in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Bahamas, Japan, Korea, Barbados, Haiti, Germany, Belgium, United Arab Emirates, Trinidad, Tobago, and most recently, Accra, Ghana. We were the first organization under the National Pan-Atlantic Council to have a national headquarters for our operations. Our headquarters is located in Washington, D.C. So to talk though more specifically about what we're doing in our local community and in our national communities, since 1971, Zeta Phi Beta has been in partnership with the March of Dimes. You all may know that the March of Dimes originally started in 1938 under President Truman. But when it first started, it was to fight polio. So since that time, the name and all of that has changed and the focus has broadened. And so the focus is prematurity awareness, infant mortality, low birth rates. And this is increasingly important and immensely important because African Americans continue to have higher death rates among births. We have the low birth weights, and then because of low birth weights and because our children are coming early, we often have children that wind up with physical and mental disabilities. Thus, it makes sense for us to be partners with the March of Dimes. In addition to the March of Dimes, we also partner with the American Association of Retired Persons, AARP. Locally, we do so much with our Council on Aging. We do bingo with them, gifts to them. We participate in getting fans and air conditioners because it's called chill out. And we need to help our seniors chill out because some of you know that a lot of seniors will be in hot homes and they will die from heat exhaustion. So that's a big deal. We're also in partnership with the American Cancer Society, and like so many others, we participate in Relay for Life, and we do our own fundraising for the American Cancer Society. One of the initiatives that I'm most excited about is our Women Veterans Rock. We have a lot of veterans who are female, and unfortunately, they don't seem to get the same attention that our male counterparts do. So we are making sure that we are encouraging our female veterans and that we are there for them. In fact, we have many active duty veterans. So they help to spearhead that and to make sure that we're focusing our energies in the right direction. We've just started Domestic Violence Awareness And we're fortunate that locally, the person who is the chair for that domestic violence initiative actually works for a local law enforcement. So it's really good to have her in that position. So as a result of that, we of course support the home for women who are abuse victims. And also just to get the word out that you don't have to stay in a situation where you're being abused. Partners in education. We have been doing partners in education forever. We work with CAYs, and each year we sort of change from those from one school to another, and they have to meet the criteria of serving historically low income, disadvantaged students. Many of these students don't have the money to get the things that they need. So we're there providing those items as well. Our broad umbrella for Zeta is called Zeta's Helping Other People Excel. So we have auxiliaries, as we've said, our auxiliary adult group is Amikai. We have 3 levels of young women. So we have our teens, high school teens, middle school, but we also have our pearlettes, and they are as young as 4, and they are the cutest thing ever. They just really are. So, but to end this up, because there's so much more that I could say. Oh, I do want to mention 1 or 2. So since you love Shabazz, I'm sure you also love Zora Neale Hurston, who is a Zeta. So I just so I wanted to throw that in there so you could chew on that a little bit. But the thing about it is to make a difference in our communities by being there and also looking to work collaboratively as a member of the Divine Nine, because I think that Brother Lewis said it best. We grew out of a need to have these kind of organizations, and though we differ obviously in our names and whatever, the bottom line has to be to improve our community for folks who look a lot like us and who do often find that they are disadvantaged. We support the NAACP and other local organizations as well. I think my time is up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Wiley. I'm so excited. So Zora Neale Hurston is not only one of my favorite authors, but she's also one of my favorite anthropologists. The first anthropologist I knew, cultural anthropologist, and one of my best friends is Dr. April Young is. And so Zora Neale Hurston set the stage. So didn't I know she was a Zeta? But I also like that you mentioned the March of Dimes, and I just have that picture when they first started of people adding one, a little bit at a time, and that one dime could really add up to make a difference. And I think that's what the Zetas, the other sororities and fraternities do so well, is you do a little bit and you do a little bit constantly, and it really does make a big impact. So thank you so much. Stick around. You can turn your mic and your camera off, but stick around because I know we got questions. Thank you so much, Doc. Hey there, Jeff Thomas.
Hey, Robin.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. It is good to see you and your husband again.
Thank you. We see you every Sunday. You just don't see us on the.
That's what it is.
We're church members for those out there going, what? What do you mean they don't see y'all? So I am excited that you're here. You are Mr. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. I just gave you that whole title. I don't know if you are or not, but you are. You are, and I'm excited that you are here. Jeff Thomas representing Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. So thank y'all for being in the community, and share with us how you help and what the history of the fraternity, and then how you help and how the community can help you.
Thank you, Robin. Again, thank you and Lloyd for inviting me and us, members of the Divine Nine. You also stated earlier that there was 1 iota in the area. I think that's about all there are anyway. I think it's only 2 or 3 of them anyway, but that's it.
I'm going to turn my mic off so I don't get in trouble with you.
But again, I'm Jeffrey Thomas. I am the president of the local Epsilon Mu Lambda chapter in Pensacola. A bit about the history of Alpha Phi Alpha. Alpha Phi Alpha, why Brother Anderson stated that he is a member of the oldest Greek letter professional organization. That is true. In our intake and process, the boule is one of the things in which we teach new members coming in. But Alpha Phi Alpha is the oldest Black Greek letter intercollegiate organization for Black men, and it was founded at Cornell University. Here pretty soon we'll be celebrating Founders Day. It'll be December the 4th, 1906. And that was again at Cornell in Ithaca, New York, by 7 college men who recognized the need for a strong bond of brotherhood among African descendants in this country. And that theory and that school of thought has not changed. We still need that strong bond. Historically, when they got to Cornell in 1905, there were 15 Blacks on campus during that time, and they started a social study club. The social study club actually included women. There were actually 5 women who were among the 15. And the history state that all of them that they could track went on and did great things. But they started the club because they saw the need for Blacks to have a place to socialize, and as a support group for minority students who face racial prejudice, both educationally and socially at Cornell. The founders and early leaders of the fraternity succeeded in laying firm foundation for Alpha Phi Alpha principles of scholarship, fellowship, good character, and the uplifting of humanity. And we still try to stay with that today. The last line of our mission statement states, while providing service and advocacy to our communities, because we know where we live are the people who we affect most and who affect us the most. So we want to be a part of that community. They realized, and even in our mission statement, we realize that you spend more time in your communities than you do in college. And your college and your education and your training prepares you for that community in which you will be in. So we want to provide service and advocacy to the communities in which we live. The local chapter, Epsilon Mu Lambda, was founded on January the 1st in 1951. So this year we celebrated 70 years of being existing in this community. And it was also founded by 7 men who were all attended historically Black colleges. And then when they came back to Pensacola, they knew that they had shared that bond. And the amazing thing about them, most of them worked in education. And, during that time, it was not uncommon for Blacks to work to get degrees in education because they wanted to go back and to teach their community, which taught them. And also another reason for that was also, too, it was the educational institutions that sent them to college. And so when they come back, they could carry on the legacy of teaching our communities. And we do. That's one thing I missed. I'm old enough. My first 3 years in school were integrated schools, and they were actually the best times of school for me because we had people who cared about us, and they knew our families. So when you mess up, and all they had to say, was no need to paddle them or suspend us. All they had to say was, "Oh, do I need to call your mama?" "No, ma'am." And so you sat down and you learned. So we do have a couple of initiatives. We also too work with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, Boy Scouts of America, and also the Peace Corps. Our programs, our national programs. One is voteless people. Voteless people are hopeless people, and we know that the 22 elections are coming up, and we want to And we have in the past, because actually in Pensacola, even with all the fraternities and sororities we have, and we are brothers and sisters, for the most part, we work better if we work together. We have the Panalytic, and that was the vision of the Panalytic founders, that together we are stronger than we are apart. So with the voteless and hopeless people last year, we worked with the Deltas to get more people out and vote. And this year we want to make people aware that the only time to vote is not the presidential election. As a matter of fact, that's probably the worst time to vote. You vote in your local elections and you vote in your state elections, and those are the representatives who would affect you nationally. So we want to get that message out. Another one of our programs is Go to High School, Go to College, which was the very first program in which Alpha Phi Alpha came up with, because they saw the need for education and literacy in the Black community. So it started with go to high school and then go to college. And even though we say go to high school, go to college now, we mean go to school all the way up till you graduate from high school, and then go on to another degree, another level of training and education. So that's what we do. Our signature program is our Young Leaders of Tomorrow program. That's our Images and Young Leaders of Tomorrow. That is our mentoring program that we have. And their mission, the mission of that program, is to raise academic standards, build character, and expose students to various career options and fields, resulting in them being more prepared in life, thus allowing them an opportunity to become productive men in the community. So that's our program for them. We also do Alpha Day on the Hills. We do it nationally, and we do it at the state capitol in Tallahassee. So we now have a political action team. Technically, we can't call it a pack, but we're aware of what's going on, and we do have that going on. Health-wise, on the state level and now the national level, we have our everything that's going on, and we address every issue from mental health to pandemic, high blood pressure, anything that affects us. We now have a what we call our first Surgeon General Alpha. Make sure that we get all the information we need. We have all the resources that we need, not only to help us, but to help our family and to help our community. Because what we know, we don't supposed to keep it to ourselves. We're supposed to share and use that to help others. And so we have that. There again, I did hear someone else mention this. There are two paths to membership into the fraternity, collegiate, and what we call the graduate level. And the requirements are the same. As long as you're in college pursuing your first degree and have a 3.0 GPA, then you are able to, well, not 3.0, it's 2.5 GPA. And you'll be able to, with the vote, able to do intake and become a member. If you have a degree, baccalaureate, master's, or doctorate, you also can join at the alumni level. I think Robin put the information up. You just go to our website and all that information is there. And also to the Facebook page, Pensacola Alpha. Just put that in your search engine, and then we'll come up. And when we have interest meetings or anything, if you're interested in becoming a member, then the information will be there, and you can contact us. Even in the message, there's a message center. Even if you want your child to become a member, your son to become a member of our Young Leaders program, you can also put that in the, just send us a message and say, hey, I got a child. And with that program, we start with 9th graders all the way up to the 12th graders. And then it's culminated with a dinner, dance, and a ball for our 12th graders, those who are 12th graders. Our next ball event is coming up, so I'm gonna need your help in buying some of them tickets. It's going to be Saturday, February the 12th, 2020, at 7 p.m. at the Conference Center at UWF. We know that the governor, really is not that big on mandates as far as protecting for COVID, but we are not selling as many tickets. It's just so we can spread people out and, and have people wear masks, and we will be doing temperature. Everything. We want to keep you safe and we want to keep our young leaders safe. So that's February, and the tickets are $60 a piece, and this is strictly for our scholarship, because we give at the end of while they're actually there, at the end of the dance, at the end of dinner, we present them with information they get during that program. They get financial training, and then Central Credit Union presents them with a credit card for going through that and managing. I think it's $500 on the card. So that, we start them right there with that, and then each year we give them a $1,000 scholarship, and that's dependent. We're looking to increase it, so that depends on, and all of that is dependent on the ticket sales and things to that nature, or sponsors. There are different levels. If you look on our webpage, we have all that information. So if you want to sponsor us, there's different levels of sponsorship, but the money goes toward the scholarship. Money comes in, money goes out. We have no need to sit on money. We need that also to help our communities. And that's my take. Thank you so very much for giving me this time and this opportunity.
Thank you, Jeff. That absolutely amazing. And I think, even though we know people, we don't know the reach. It's the thing that kept resonating with me that you said, like straight out, is that strong bond, and then making those close connections. And I think especially to help to keep bonding with these young men and young women, and going all the way through in their educational experience, their educational journey is so important. So I really appreciate you bringing that out, how you give to them once they're in college or in their school every year to keep helping, because that's so important. Yeah, and that really does make a strong bond.
And it does. And even after it even surprised us when we first started the program. When most of them Pensacola, and some are in the military, we don't see them, but it's amazing that when they come home, or even they'll write us, we'll go check the mail, and they just call and say, hey, thank you so very much for, your mentoring, your financial education. And we have one other thing too, and it's a national program. It's called Project Alpha, and Project Alpha is where we talk to them, about being responsible and sexual health, and being responsible in their relationships. So, they say all of that helped them, and I may be old school, but I still think the best person to teach a man to be a man is a man. I know we have women out there doing great things, but if you really look, they always have a cousin or uncle or next door neighbor, deacon, or somebody in the church to give them a positive male role model. One of the other things that I'd also found important, when I talk about the founding of the chapter, there was only 15 people that attended college during that time. One of the founders said that their biggest supporters was not their college professors or any of the whites in the college. Their biggest supporters were the blacks who worked on the campus and saw that they were trying to do something that nobody else had done before. And he said he was amazed that when the janitors and the housekeepers and the people in the kitchen would just give them a nickel or a dime and say, we see what you're doing. We see what you're doing.
We talked about that, seeing those two young men in the store, and it's that thing again. LaSharon mentioned that about the March of Dimes. It's that we think it may be small to us. It's big to them. It's that little thing. So that nickel, that dime, that dollar, whatever that is, it encourages them, and it makes them know that somebody is looking out for them. That is, you can't underestimate that. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Yeah, so important. Jeff, thank you so much. Thank the Alphas for all that y'all do in the community. So very important. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. So you can turn your camera and your microphone off. Yeah, stick around, but I know we'll have questions.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We are rolling, and I'm gonna get in trouble, Kelsey. Watch this. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna say this is my favorite fraternity. I'm gonna get in trouble.
That's all right. I'm pretty sure it's God's favorite fraternity too.
Because I have to go home at night.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Kelsey Powell with Kappa Alpha's out. I'm finna mess it up. Lord have mercy. I'm finna be in trouble. I'm laughing and giggling over here because of my crimson with Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. I'm finna mess it up, but I know I'm gonna be all right. But
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know you're gonna make it all right. But
Indeed.
thank you so much for being here and for helping us understand the great work that the Kappas do in the community, and tell us a little bit about the history, and tell us what you do and then how we can help.
Awesome. Good evening. My name is Kelsey Powell. I am lucky enough to be the pole mark or president of the Pensacola alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. Our national organization, the Alpha chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, was founded January 5th, 1911 at Indiana University in Bloomington. Although we are the second oldest Black Greek letter fraternity, we are actually the first nationally incorporated Black Greek letter organization, which occurred on May 15th, 1911. Nationally, our philanthropy includes the NAACP, also St. Jude's Hospital. Over the past 4 or 5 years, nationally, Kappa Alpha Psi has donated more than $5 million to St. Jude's Hospital. Another program we have nationally is called Room to Read, which is an elementary literacy program. And then also Kappa Alpha Psi supports current and military members and veterans of our armed forces as well. As far as locally, Pensacola Alumni was chartered on March 8th, 1947. We will be celebrating our 75th anniversary coming up in 2022. It was founded by 8 young men, and since its inception, the members of Pensacola Alumni have been leaders in our community here in Pensacola. One of our members, the late Dr. Charles Augustus, he is responsible for suing the Escambia County School District on behalf of his daughter. That lawsuit led to the integration of public schools here in Escambia County. We also boast of in our membership the late Cecil T. Hunter. In 1983, he was one of 3 Black members who were elected to the Pensacola City Council. In later years, the Honorable Ronald Townsend and Honorable John Geralds both sat on the Pensacola City Council. Matter of fact, Brother John Geralds, he just came off as the District 5 representative in the Pensacola City Council in 2020. The fraternity's motto is training for leadership. With our undergraduate and also our graduate members locally, regionally, and also internationally. The fraternity has more than 160,000 members that represent more than 700 collegiate and also alumni chapters all over the world. Our goal is to train men to achieve. And so the fraternity focuses on networking opportunities and then also professional development as well. Our philanthropy locally pretty much focuses on education. Like Jeff Thomas mentioned about the Alphas, there has been a number of our members in the past and then also in the present that were and are educators. And so our philanthropy revolves around providing resources through scholarships. Over the last 10 years, we've provided more than 50 scholarships to young men graduating in Escambia and Santa Rosa County from high school. And also we have our Kappa League program, which is a mentoring program for young men in 8th through 12th grade. We support our philanthropy through our charitable foundation, which is the Pensacola Alumni Charity Foundation, in addition to the education initiatives that we support. Wellness is a big concern, certainly nationally, and also we reflect that on the local level. And so each year we also participate in the Cancer Walk, the Heart Walk, and in this past 18 months, we've had members of our chapter and area chapters as well, also Mobile, Atmore alumni, and then Fort Walton Beach alumni. But our members have led the effort in trying to help our community get vaccinated for COVID-19. And that's certainly something that we're very proud of as well. And I look forward to continuing in the future. But that's my Easter speech in a nutshell.
Can't wait till we get back to hear Easter speeches.
Yes, ma'am. I've been practicing for almost 2 years.
You mentioned, thank you so much, Kelsey. You mentioned Dr. Charles Augustus and so many esteemed men who have made a difference. So we talked a lot nationally, but that local piece, that local history rather, Dr. Augustus with his daughter Karen, who walked by a predominantly white school to go to another school, that was powerful. And so to have a bond of people around you to support you through that, like the sororities and the fraternities do, is really does make a difference. I appreciate you mentioning Dr. Augustus. Yeah,
Absolutely.
very, very powerful. Yeah, we're excited. We enjoy having the Kappa League here. I think we've hosted the Daphne, Pensacola, and the Fort Walton branches here, along with the AKA. Just forgot their name, Emerging Young Leaders, with those young ladies. So I like that. Again, back to what Lou said, that sincere altruism, really reaching back and helping to pull others up. Yeah. So thank you so much. So you mentioned, do y'all have something coming up? You mentioned that you're getting ready to celebrate something, but I may have missed something.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. We are celebrating our 75th anniversary. The details are still being finalized. It will occur in March of 2022. And, check out our website, PensacolaKappa.com, or our social media pages, Pensacola Noops on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Okay. All right. So get your Alpha tickets in, get your Kappa tickets. Put them both on layaway now. It doesn't matter. Y'all take layaway, right? You know.
Indeed. Yeah, we're going to show you a good time. So whatever it takes.
$5 down, $5 a week. Okay.
Yeah, come see me.
Kelsey, thank you so much. We really do.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. You can take your camera and your deal off there. All right, we're gonna have Sean Parker with the Sigmas coming up, Phi Beta Sigma. He's gonna come on stage. I was laughing. I got a chance to see him earlier. Was it this week? I think earlier this week at a networking event. He said, "I sure said Kappa a whole lot. I gotta say Sigma just as much." So. Sean, you can come on stage, and I'll promise you I'll say Sigma just as many times as I say Kappas. If not, y'all gonna make me start singing, and I promise you don't want me to start singing. You do not want me to. Oh, Lord.
Absolutely not.
Save the day. My husband, my Kappa husband saved the day.
All right. Yes. So like Canal is trying to get on, but I guess who else is backstage there? We can call them.
Yeah, so we have Sean with Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, Jessica Johnson with Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, and I didn't see Kim Yarborough with Omega
Yeah,
Psi
he's
Phi.
not gonna be able to make it on. So I posted his announcement about the food giveaway tomorrow
Okay.
on Facebook and here on the stage. So let's see. So
I
Jessica.
saw Sean was on, and then
Yes,
he.
I'm not sure what.
Okay.
So whoever's backstage, come on and we're asked to share your video and audio so we can get you on.
Okay, and as they come up, I just want to do a shout out to the Omega Sci-Fi Dr. John Beasley, Dr. Marion Williams. You see them a lot doing a lot of that work in the community, and all the young men who are associated with them. So thank the Omegas for all that, and then that food giveaway that they're doing tomorrow. I know they've had a long history of work, and they're going to continue to do that work tomorrow. So thanks to all the Omegas. I believe Reverend Yarbrough, Kim Yarbrough, who's the, do they call them pole marks too, with the Omegas? We're just going to make up that name for the Omegas, the pole mark. He had a school event tonight, so we were trying to balance all of that out. But please welcome Sean Parker with Phi Beta Sigma, the Sigmas, the Sigmas, the Sigma, Sigma, Sigmas. How many times did I say Kappas? The Sigmas, the Sigmas.
You said them a lot the other night.
I'm gonna keep my new friends, my old friends close. Sean
Yes,
Parker,
ma'am.
my new friend. I'm gonna say Sigma 12 more times tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for the
I owe you a
opportunity.
drink. If you drink lemonade, I owe you that too.
I got lemonade. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, Sean, thank you so much for being here to represent Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. So share with us a little bit of the history of the Sigmas and how you work in the community and how the community can help you.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Phi Beta Sigma fraternity incorporated, that royal blue, that pure white. We started at Howard University, 1914, January 9th, 1914. The greatest name in Sigma is the most honorable brother, Abram Langston Taylor. And we also have founder members, Charles Ignatius Brown and Leonard Francis Morse. There was an idea that started with Brother Abram Langston Taylor. He's from Memphis, Tennessee, and he wanted to do some things a lot different than the other two fraternities that were on the yard at the time, the Alpha Phi Alpha and Omega Psi that was on the yard. So our motto is culture for service and service for humanity, and we pride ourselves as being the thing that's needed out in the community that is positive and uplifting. We'll be there. We'll promote or help promote, and you'll see that throughout our community here in Pensacola as well. Got it on the principles of brotherhood, scholarship, and service. We are truly about our brotherhood. We love to give back in scholarship, but service is our thing. Just like the other Greek organizations, call them BGLOs, but Black Greek letter organizations, servitude is what we're about. And that's the same thing with Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. To the local chapter here, Alpha Alpha Theta Sigma chapter, we were founded by 7 men back February 8th, 1994. Excuse me, 1994. Our chapter doesn't have the illustrious history as the others that came before us. We went through a little change. So in 2012, this chapter was we had 0 members in this chapter. Everybody went out and we formed another chapter out in Omicron Phi Sigma, which is in Fort Walton Beach. But I live here in Pensacola. And so myself and 4 other my fraternity brothers, we decided that Pensacola is where we're going to make our mark. This is where we live. And so we got the chapter back going again, nationally and locally. And so I'm proud to say, in 2019, almost to the day, February the 7th, 2019, we got the chapter back active again. To join our chapter, it's pretty simple. You just have to be collegiate, college educated. You have to have a clear background. We don't want any crazy people in our chapter. And you have to be positive in the community. You have to, make a mark within the community. And I'm proud to have some really, really good people, some really good gentlemen that's part of our chapter. I am the current past president, but the current chapter president is Brother John Sullivan. I am the state director for business. And Bigger and Better Business is one of our national programs that we have. And I'll dive deep into that when we start talking about the programs. I also advise our UWF chapter, Beta Phi. Those are collegiate brothers to join that chapter. Nationals say you have to have at least a 2.5 GPA. Their chapter advisor, me, says you have to have at least a 2.75. I do that because I want people to know that you just can't get in because you're just in school and you're an average student. So, and we pride ourselves on our academic achievements as well. Also, and you have to be at least a freshman, 2nd semester. You just can't come out of high school and join the chapter. And then also you can't come from another university to the University of West Florida and just join the chapter either. You have to have at least a semester there. So, we got to know who you are and see how you work as well. Service is one of the biggest things that we look at. So, if you're just trying to join our fraternity, the hop, stroll, dance, party, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're not that fraternity. We have some of the national programs. We have 4. One of the ones that I'm so excited about here in Pensacola is we have our Sigma Beta Club. And our Sigma Beta Club is our youth organizational group. This was, of all the fraternities, we were the first to actually start a youth Sigma Beta Club. In Pensacola, we haven't had one because, the chapter had lied dormant. But now we have our coordinator, Brother Jonathan Stallworth. He's been putting in a lot of work, a lot of training. We have a total of 11 advisors from our chapter. We just need the young men. So on December the 2nd, we have a Zoom. Currently, there's a moratorium for our youth auxiliary group, so they can only meet on a virtual platform right now. So when that happens, we're looking to charter our first Sigma Beta Club, and it's going to be the 2nd here in the Panhandle, because we also in Tallahassee, and Tallahassee is one of the largest Sigma Beta Club chapters in the country. So we're really excited because now we get to do our thing here as well. To join the Sigma Beta Club is just like joining. You have to have a 2.5 GPA, and a little bit different. We also want the parent involvement. We just don't want parents to just drop their children off and that's not where we're going with our Sigma Club. We want their involvement, and we actually want the children or the young men to actually run their chapter. They'll be running. We're just going to sit back and advise them and coach them and teach them and teach them how to be young men, how to conduct a meeting, Robert Rules of Order, how to carry themselves. Some of the things we'll be working with them is college tours. We'll be looking at, how to write a resume, how to, fill out a job application. And then we'll follow them as far as grades wise. So it's really, truly mentorship. We're not trying to be their daddy, but we are trying to mentor these kids. And because we know in our community that, once the streets get a hold of these kids, it's kind of hard for the streets to let them go. So we want to make sure that we are doing our part in that. We have education is programs that we have. Coming from our national program director, Dr. Michael Marcus Cheney, one of the biggest push or initiatives is Adopted School. So when we first started back our chapter, first thing we did align ourselves with the education and adopted Dixon School of Arts and Sciences with Dr. Curry there. Because of the pandemic, we can only do so much. But a couple of things that we look forward to is, the reading days. We enjoy getting back to the reading days with the children there. Spelling bees, and their STEM program is one of the best I've seen. Just helping in that as well. We don't have to adopt just one school. We can adopt all of them if we could. So we are looking for different opportunities to adopt other schools here in the Escambia County area. Couple of things that we do work with as far as education is for our collegiates as well. So our collegiates, they have a lot of incentive to do the right thing as far as their education. The fraternity has pumped in so many resources for our collegiates. They devise a networking for our collegiates. Partner with different companies like Ralph Lauren, Morgan Stanley, just to name a few, Men's Warehouse, so they can move to other parts of whatever field that they're in. And so education and scholarships is one of the biggest things. And then teach these kids how to speak. So debate competitions and oratory where we at. Can't wait for the Sigma Beta Club to get active. So these young men how to speak and debate a topic without being frustrated, upset, or trying to get that point across, and it becomes situation. So looking forward to that. Another program we have is Bigger and Better Business. I am the state director of Bigger and Better Business this year. Couple of things that we have. One of the biggest things that we have, and if our profile, we promote Black Spin initiatives. So the one thing that really bothers me is when you look at the numbers of our dollars, where we spending our money, in 6 hours from the time we get paid, it's gone in our community. And so we're trying to do some education around that. We're trying to promote Black businesses that's in the area, latch on to them. One of the biggest things is restaurants that are so easy. Restaurants and hair stores, there's so many more businesses out there. The insurance agent that works for Allstate, he is a separate, or she is a separate entity, do business with them. And so we're trying to get thinking in that mindset to start breaking bread, so to speak, air quotes, with Black Spin initiatives. That is my job. I am proud to say that since becoming the state director of Bigger and Better Business in the state of Florida between September up until yesterday, we had $202,000 of black spend money from our fraternity. And I track that. I track that throughout the state, throughout the region, and throughout the country. We're tracking it as well. And Florida is one of the top spenders of Black Spend Initiative. So one thing that I look at is trying to partner with different organizations in our community that we can give back. Part of that giving back is adopting a business. So adopted thus far since I become the state director of Bigger and Better Business, we have adopted the Cask and Flights Wine Tasting Room, and we also adopted East Kings Corner Cafe. We're looking to adopt more. We're looking to spend money where people normally won't spend money at, and then making it a positive experience. Because one thing that we do is when we have a bad experience, we believe in giving bad rap. Criticism, we give bad raps, and we want to educate, our people that, keep the money in our community. We have to start us. It's nobody else will. So that's one of the biggest things. We have our Project Seed, which is social economic empowerment development. So that's just where we start teaching financial literacy, home ownership, anything to do with money, anything to get educated as far as, savings versus IRAs and Roths, how to build generational wealth. Those are we are involved in. And then social action is really our biggest thing, our biggest program. And then I'm gonna be quiet. So social action is all about Sigma Wellness. It's an umbrella that we look at. If it's anything having to do with anything that's important. So men's health, important. We just had an event on this past called Man Up, and City Councilman Brother put on that program, and it's just about promoting men's health. And then breast cancer awareness. We are partnered with the American Cancer Society, and so that's one of the biggest things we do with Relay for Life. Our chapter just recently donated $907 for that. March of Dimes. We are actually national. We have a national partnership with the March of Dimes, March for Babies, which is celebrating, not celebrating, but it's giving awareness to prematurity. On November the 17th, Wednesday, we did a campaign for our chapter where we wrote, even though it was Omega Psi Phi's Founders Day, we wore purple. and it was for awareness for World Prematurity Day. So we get behind those efforts. Currently, my chapter here sit number 7 in the region. We're a small chapter, so being number 7 in the region is pretty huge. Number 7 internationally for a small chapter, and right now we had $2,932 that we've collected thus far. So we try to give back, and then even on the national stage, we give back so much more as well. Now, I don't have those dollars, but we do give those back. One of the, we just participated in the Cancer Walk, Relay for Life, domestic violence awareness. I want, in the essence of time, Veterans Day Parade. We celebrated with our Zeta sisters. Gamma
Yeah.
Tau Zeta, and then also spoke at the Veterans Recognition Day that Friday at Wedgwood Community Center. Our biggest initiative that our chapter is into is we trying to get in some good trouble, some necessary trouble.
Yeah.
Built upon the vision of honorable brother and late great Congressman John Lewis. Voting initiatives is where we at. We register people every month. Registration drive that we put on at WPMM Online Radio. I actually work at the Escambia County Jail, so I go around to the inmates and I register them in the vote, and those that are unsure of, I give them the paperwork to restore their rights, because everybody in the jail are not guilty, and everybody do have a voice as well. And so that's one of the biggest things that we are in relationship with the supervisor of election, David Stafford, and his team. And we run, which is Precinct 69, St. James Missionary Baptist Church. So, we're really excited about, the future and where this organization is going here in our community. And with that, time.
We ain't gonna talk about the time on I'm talking about you with time offline, Sean. Listen, thank you so much. I appreciate that you talked about that corporate culture, and again, back to what Lou Anderson was talking about, that corporate social responsibility. That's huge. So thank you. And you guys reforming, that's really important. You got back up and retooled and came together. So thank you, and thank all the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all the work that you do in the community. So thank you very much. You can take your camera and your phone off, and we're going to have the Sigma Gamma Rose up. Miss Jessica Johnson is gonna come up. So thank you, Sean. Hello there, Miss Jessica Johnson. How are you?
Good evening. I'm well. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging in there with us. This has been absolutely amazing, and I think I had some phone calls before we even started airing, and people were excited to learn all of this great information, because y'all are doing the work. And sometimes that recognition, people don't know about all the great work you're doing because you're busy doing the work, right? And so
Yes.
just as Sean and the other ones talked about, it's you're doing so much, and I think it's so important that people know. So I'm excited for you to share with us your history in the community, and what you've been doing, and then how we can help. So Miss Jessica Johnson with Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, our next lesson, and then we're going to wind it up with the AKAs.
Yes. Well, thank you guys. Good evening. My name is Jessica Johnson, and I serve as the Basilisk of the Epsilon Rho Sigma chapter here in Pensacola, Florida. Just backstory on the chapter. The chapter was chartered on April 17th, 1981. So we are about to celebrate 41 years this coming year. So we're very excited about that. Well, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated was founded on the campus of Butler University by 7 young educators in 1922. So we are 1 year away from Centennial, which is a huge thing. We just celebrated Founders Day, so we're excited. We've got a lot of different events and things like that coming up for Centennial. So it's a lot of things coming up, a lot of opportunities to engage. So we're very excited about it. Our motto is greater service, greater progress. And we provide this service for the progression of women and their families. So we do this primarily through our 5 national programs, which are Operation Big Book Bag. This initiative is something where we support the basic school supplies needed for our school-age students. It could be book bags, STEM kits. We've done the regular tools, pencils, pens, laptops, computers, you name it. We found something for it. This is really definitely important for us as an organization. Last year, or I guess 2 years ago now, when so many students were under-resourced or had nothing, and had to transition rather quickly to a virtual format. In addition, we also have Swim 1922, which is a partnership that we have with USA Swimming, where we basically are teaching youth in the community and as a whole very basic and safe swim practices. As we know, statistically, there's a very high rate of drowning for our community. And so this initiative allows us to partner with local community centers and also provide some national tools and resources for the community to help us to create a more safe awareness around water safety. Also, we have Project Cradle Care, which is an opportunity for us to partner with local agencies and our young women who are expecting babies. And so every January, we as an organization partner to address the teen pregnancy as well as young mothers to provide them with different resources, as also different things that they need for their baby. So Pampers, wipes, cribs, all kinds of things like that. We also have our Women's Wellness Initiative. This is an opportunity for us to speak to women's health holistically. So we work with different partners as well to create different programming related to mental health, financial wellness, physical health, intellectual health. So maybe we have some women in the community who want to go back to school, and maybe they need the resources and the connections to do that. So we help and partner with local higher ed institutions to do that as well. And then finally, one of our other big programs is our annual youth symposium, where we are basically putting together a program to engage both young women and young men related to different topics. We'll talk a little bit about financial health. We'll talk a little bit about actual physical health. We'll break it up and we'll talk some about, what being a young woman looks like, and then also have partnerships with our fraternities and then local agencies to talk about what it is to be a young man. So you get a little bit of both worlds in that. Our chapters have continued to provide service and partner with agencies even during the COVID-19 pandemic, but now the poodles are free. So we are transitioning very slowly to some in-person events and service opportunities. So we're excited to get back to where we love being out in the community, meeting people where they are, literally meeting them where they are and giving them resources and just giving them support. But of course, we're doing this with some modifications. So we're still utilizing appropriate social distancing, masking, and those sorts of things. What can I say about our membership? So we are the smallest, but we are very mighty. We are the youngest, but we are very mighty as well. And so our membership, we have several different tiers. One that we really do a good job of promoting just holistically and internationally is our Philo program, because in Greek, Philo means friend. And so these are women who have not yet attained a bachelor's degree or higher. So they are actually welcome to join the organization. They will have their own chapters, but also be under our umbrella. They go to our boulets, they go to our area meetings, our regional conferences, but they actually do function as their own chapter. So they'll have their own president, vice president, treasurer, etc. We also have our rower program, which is for young ladies who are ages 12 through 17. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to do some of that mentoring and kind of reach these kids where they definitely are in those very impressionable ages. And then our newest affiliate program is our Rosebuds for our young ladies who are ages 8 through 11. This is the newest initiative, about a few years old now. This allows us to kind of get those young ladies where they're in, show them service on a very basic, simple level. They don't have chapters. They're very much engaged with the graduate chapters primarily. And really, they're just kind of with us to kind of see what it looks like as a mentor, as an example for service. And then we, of course, like all the other fraternities and sororities, we do have an undergraduate presence. So we do have an undergraduate chapter at the University of West Florida. Right now, the name is Tau Beta. And they were chartered in April of 2015. So they are a little bit of a young chapter, but we are actually looking to revamp that chapter and get it back up because our girls have now graduated and we're so proud of them. So we will be planning to do some more outreach, some community service, partnerships and different initiatives. Like everybody before, the main theme that you'll hear in our organizations is collective impact, building bridges together, working together. We all do such amazing work, and we all have something that we can provide for the community. And I think it's really powerful when the community can see us all together and know that we work together. And I mean, we literally work at our jobs together. We literally also do the work together. And it's so important. And so we all may wear different letters. We all may have, different little things that make us unique, but ultimately the goal is collective impact. And so, in like Robin said, our information is in the chat. If you need to reach out, our Facebook page is there. But we'd be happy to chat with you all. We're pretty open, so feel free to give us an email. And if we can't find an answer for you, we'll find somebody who knows. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jessica. I love that. That should be a hashtag, collective impact. So I think that you do it each in your sororities and fraternities, just as you talked about the work, and even retooling. Sean talked about that, retooling back when something is not working, then or if it's vacant, then y'all found. What is it in business? You say find a need and fill it. You found a need at the university to have Sigma Gamma Rho back. And so thank you. I'm serious. That collective impact, that's powerful. Yeah. That's powerful how you band together. And I heard y'all call each other brother and sisters, even if you weren't in that particular sorority or fraternity. So thanks for bringing that back. And we did post your information in the chat and on Facebook. So anyone, again, as Jessica said, who wants to reach out, please do, because these organizations, these men and women are doing such amazing things in the community. And so how do they keep doing it is by banding together. And as Jessica said, that collective impact. So Jessica and the Sigma Gamma Rho, thank y'all. The poodles, I like that.
Yes, they let the poodles out.
Yes, thank y'all so much for what you do in the community. So we thank you so much. You can take your camera off and your microphone off there, and there may be people who have who want additional information. And we are going to what they say, we last but not least. Miss Cannell Williams with the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I best say that, Incorporated. I'm gonna be in trouble with Mamie Webb Hickson.
Okay.
Carla Jones. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening. I sure can. Thank you so much. I know we had some technological issues, but that's you soldiered through it, and I appreciate you and Lloyd working together to get that done.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to have you here and to hear about the great history of the AKAs and your work in the community and how the community can help you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm Cannell Williams, the president of Delta Iota Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Pensacola, Florida. I'm excited. We're celebrating 75 years of service to the city of Pensacola and the surrounding communities. On last weekend, we did have our program, our 75th anniversary, and I guess we still up on Cloud 9, and we are celebrating all this week the 7 days of fitness. So we're just on a roll. As you know, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority was founded in 1908 on the campus of Howard University. It was the first Black Greek letter organization that was established for Black women. It was the idea that was conceived by Ethel Hesman Lyle of St. Louis, Missouri, and this was her vision. Her vision was to enrich the social and intellectual aspect of college life by providing mental stimulation through interaction with friends and associates. And on January 29th, 1913, the sorority became incorporated. And so following that tradition up to now, we are locally, nationally, and even internationally. So Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority continues to move. We up to 285,000 women and over 1,000 chapters. And that's good news. Plus, we have a presence, as you know, in the White House, and that of our Sarah Kamala Harris. So, you know, we are happy. We are. Okay, talking about in 1946, when Delta Iota Omega chapter was established, it was established by 7 strong Black women. And as of today, our membership is 113. So that shows that we have grown over the years, and we are still serving significantly in the South Atlantic region. 75 years. What else can I say? Let's talk about our programs now. We had a president here for 75 years. We've had many of you have enjoyed our debutante ball for 64 years. We had to stop and pivot this year. Last year we did not have a ball, but we are back, and we are having a virtual ball. It will be by way of Zoom. There are tickets. You can find this information on our website. The date of the ball, if you want to mark your calendars now, is Saturday. No, it's Monday. It's 2 days after Christmas. It's Monday, December the 27th, 2021, at, I think the time is 7 p.m. Pink in the City. Oh, that's my baby. And we haven't had that in a couple of years due to the pandemic. And I know so many of you attend that. And we just pick out Pensacola, and you have a good time. And of course, we'll let you know when we are free to come back in. Our international president says that we'll probably be able to do some in-person activities around April the 1st of next year, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. Our scholarship tea, that was another one of our fundraising activities. And of course, we've missed that, raising dollars for scholarships. Most of this information is on our website, so feel free, and I can put that website in the chat box. But let's talk about our programs that we're working. Our theme for 2018 through 2020 is exemplifying excellence through sustainable service. The international program includes 5 program targets that are designed to advance the mission of Alpha Kappa Alpha with excellence and underscore our commitment to sustainable service. 1 signature program, and 6 community impact days. Now, first, the 5 program targets are: the first one is the HBCU for Life, a call to action. This year, we have selected as our HBCU Bethune-Cookman University, and we're paying a tribute to Mrs. Evelyn Walker, who was a 1951 graduate of Bethune-Cookman, and we were in the number that raised the $2 million in 24 hours. How about that? Our second target, women's health care and wellness. For years, we have participated in Relay for Life, always a silver team, all the way up to a gold team. This year, we did the Making Strides with breast cancer. We were a silver team, raising right at $3,000 this year. We make donations to the Heart Association, and we made a donation to them as well, $1,200. Also, we have the Caretakers Day, and caretakers, we had over 175 calls made by 20 Saras to talk to caregivers and tell them how much we appreciate them. We have a partnership with Common Care. We raised dollars there, and we were a golden team. So you see, even with the pandemic, we are still making our donations and to our programs that we donate to. Not mentioning the ones on the side like Proof for You, the Kidney Fund, diabetes, and sickle cell.
Wow.
Staying on top. Building your economic legacy. Then we have the arts. And within the arts, we have a book club for the members, as well as for one of the groups that we sponsor, the Emerging Young Leaders.
Yes.
The Emerging Young Leaders is made up of young girls in middle school, grades 5 through 8. And then we kind of have a break, and we don't get them again until they're, in the Charmy Debutante program for juniors and seniors. Then I talked about us being global. Well, for our global impact, we donated shoes for souls. We donated something to 400 pairs of shoes. We donated eyeglasses for the blind. And we made dresses and shirts for girls and boys in Africa. And these were called pillowcase dresses. And I'm sorry, I don't have a picture to show up, but they were simply beautiful. Now, the signature program is /CAP, which is the abbreviation for College Admissions Process. It is designed to assist students in their efforts to enter college by providing hands-on approach that includes all the steps from researching various colleges to actually completing the application process. So you see, we've been busy. And in addition to the targets, we have our community impact days. And we have 7 of those. In January, we have the Martin Luther King. February is when our pink goes red for heart health. April, Global Impact Day observance. In August, we have the International Day of Prayer. In October, we have the Breast Cancer Awareness. In September, We do the HBCU Impact Day. In November, we do the AKA Caregivers Day, which was held just on the weekend. And that ends that part of it. And I've already talked about our major fundraisers. And we're just helping wherever we see a need in the community. There are some other things. We did participate in a stroll to the polls.
Yeah.
That was our AKA Connections Committee, where we did go out and do voter registration and had a motorcade, through the community.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Cannell Williams. Thank you. And the AKAs, I can tell you, I miss Pink in the City. It was absolute, Lord, and I really enjoyed that. And the hundreds of people that you that the sorority had there, just really impactful what you do. And I know it's a whole week, and I know that y'all had it planned. I remember the cards that Mamie would provide us, that you had it planned for years to come, so you can see that you were forward thinking in that.
Yeah. And let me do a plug here.
Yes.
We had the unveiling of our 75 years history book.
Oh, yes.
By our chapter historian, Mamie Webb Hickson. And the book should be it's off the press and waiting somewhere in the post office to be delivered. So that's a very exciting thing for us. It goes back to the history beginning with 1946 up to where we are now in 2021. It's a book. It's in color, a lot of pictures and history.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. It's amazing how much, like you're saying, and how much the other sororities and fraternities have talked about how much amazing local history is here. So I heard all of you say that you started with a few members, some 7, some 5, some 15. But the impact that you made, the hundreds of members, and again, I kept hearing these millions of dollars that you have raised collectively, back to that collective impact that Jessica with Sigma Gamma Rho talked about. That is so powerful. So I'm really happy that the AKAs are coming out with that book. I think that's going to really make a splash.
And through our debutante program, we have presented thousands of girls, and we have given a lot of scholarships over the years.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about: sisterhood, scholarship, and service.
Yeah, that's strong bond. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Cannell Williams, with the Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much for all the work that y'all do in the community. Thank you for your leadership.
And thank you for having me on tonight. I enjoyed it very much.
We can't wait to see y'all in person. Just for our listening audience, all of the sororities and fraternities that you saw virtually this year, we have invited them back to set up a table and to so you can meet them in person next year. We appreciate them making the sacrifice to be virtually with us, but I think it's so important to do that. So they will be our special guest again next year, God willing, and the creek don't rise, as we say in the country. So we're excited. Thank you, Ms. Cannell Williams. And we posted your information, all of your website and your Facebook in the chat and on Facebook Live as well.
All righty. I think we better kind of wrap things up. I don't really, let's see if I see any questions, because we're definitely a little over time here.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So all the guests are saying thank you, and we appreciate all the folks watching the stage and everything, but it was a lot of impactful information shared tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the one thing. I mean, I was writing those words down. The strong bond, the collective impact, a culture of service, that humanity, the corporate connections, all of the local history that we've heard of, and the national and the international folks too. I know Dr. Wiley talked about Liberia. That's important. My great grandmother was from Liberia. It's so important to see and to know this worldwide impact that these sororities and fraternities are having. So we again just want to thank Lewis Anderson, who set the stage for us, talking about where he started from and the impact that the fraternities had on him and those brothers approaching him to join. But then again, letting his light shine, literally letting that light shine, and then coming back here locally to make a difference. And all of those sororities and fraternities, Jeff with Alpha Phi Alpha, Canel with Alpha Kappa Alpha, Kelsey with Kappa Alpha Psi, Kim Yarbrough, who couldn't be with us, but he sent that information with Omega Psi Phi, Latanya with Delta Sigma Theta, Sean with Phi Beta Sigma, Dr. Wiley with Zeta Phi Beta, and Jessica with Sigma Gamma Rho, and in their absence, the Iotas. And then Lou also representing the Boule. So thank y'all so much for what you do in the community, and thank you so much for what you do for humanity, because it certainly does make a difference.
All righty. So I don't see a couple of the speakers had to leave. A lot of events going on tomorrow they're trying to prepare for. And so, yes, so we're definitely excited. Sorry we went a little long there, but we definitely appreciate all the great information, and definitely want to give a shout out to all our sponsors and partners and supporting the Pensacola Network. And so I guess we'll be our next event will be in January. So we'll get those emails out to everybody and keep everybody posted on that. And Robin, I heard you say this morning that we're still going to do both hybrid, with both in person and online for some of those folks out, outside the area.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to be back in January. I'm so excited. So do whatever it takes for you to be safe and be there, because I'm telling y'all, I'm coming. I'm hugging. Whatever booster shot they tell me, I'm probably going to get 5 of them, because I'm hugging. We have the Priscilla Sapp, who's going to be our motivational speaker, and she's got a new married name. Lord have mercy, and I call her the old married woman. I love me some Priscilla Sapp. So she's going to be our motivational speaker, young and on fire for young ladies, to help them and mentorship with them. She has some great programs, and so we're excited to have her to start off the year. We wish everyone a great Thanksgiving. I'm going to go down the list. A happy Hanukkah, an amazing Christmas, a Merry Christmas, a happy and fulfilling Kwanzaa, and a Happy New Year. And be safe and love your friends and family like you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you better ask somebody how you're supposed to love yourself.
Thanks for all the folks that were out there watching on Facebook and other social media channels. All right. Have a great and safe weekend. Enjoy some football. And next week, enjoy some turkey and Thanksgiving with your family and friends.
No calories if you smile. Remember that.
All right. Love you all. We'll put y'all back in January. Take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye, y'all.